What's up, everyone? My name's Christian, or I go by Chris. This is the start of something new. I'm excited for it, and I want you to be part of it. I'm officially launching my YouTube channel, not not to just post content, but to document the real, unfiltered journey of building a business, mastering copywriting, or becoming an expert at copywriting, and figuring it all out along the way. So let's get started. A little bit about myself and why I'm doing this. I started my journey in the creator space about 2 years ago. It all began on X/Twitter, as whatever you want to call it, really, where I was experimenting, trying to figure things out. Since then, it's been a long and exciting journey/ride that's eventually led me to here. Like a lot of people, I jumped into the space with the idea of financial freedom and location freedom. But for me, it's deeper than that. I love to travel. I want to explore the world, connect with people, and understand myself better. I've been to 13 countries so far, and my goal this year is Japan. So I'm putting this out into the world now. When I get there, I'll be recording a video and posting it on this channel as well. But beyond travel, the ultimate goal is just taking care of my family, to be in control of my time, to be present for every big moment, and to build something that lasts. And I would say the biggest goal of all is owning a football club. For the European listeners, if I have any, right? Football. For the American listeners, soccer, right? Soccer's been part of my whole life. I was a former professional athlete, and I know one day I'll own a soccer club, right? I always thought about it since I was a little kid, basically. Um, I don't know where yet, but my vision is to build an academy system or some sort of pipeline that gives kids real opportunities in the football or soccer space, um, while they're able to basically grow as a player, grow as a person, get their education, and then just better position themselves where they're ahead in life in some way. And I want to be able to have that impact on their lives. But that's ultimately my long-term mission here with this. But yeah, let's get into a little bit more of how I got here, and go into that background of, I guess, my story, right? I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset since I was young. I've been trying different things. I tried SMMA, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, hated them all, right? SMMA, I was just too young, too dumb, just didn't really understand and just got distracted a lot. Amazon FBA and drop shipping, those things were just nightmares and just didn't want to waste my time anymore with it. Funny enough, I actually did start a brand about right before COVID, and basically just drained or dumped $3,000 of my own money, and then basically COVID wiped it out. So that was a fun experience. That actually a lot of it goes into what I've learned or what I'm learning right now. But yeah, to go in a bit further, I guess, right? One day I was scrolling on Next, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I kept coming across these two people called Eddie Kwan and Dan Koe. Maybe a lot of you guys might know Dan Koe, right? I feel like a lot of people in that space knows him, and maybe he's the reason why a lot of people started becoming creators in the first place or starting their personal brands. But yeah, I just kind of watched them, observed them, and watched other people do the same thing. And then eventually I just said, like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it too, right? So took the chance, took the opportunity, and yeah, just kind of landed in this whole creator space aspect. At first, actually, I started talking about stock trading, real estate, both just investing and all that fun stuff, basically. Both of which I do right now, and I love it because those avenues do provide a lot of ways to the type of freedom that we seek, um, and they provide it, right? But over time, I naturally shifted towards basically marketing, branding, and positioning because my background is in that. That's what I studied. But throughout the time, it's just understanding how other brands operated, well, how they operated, what they did to stand out, and basically just the branding, the positioning, and the marketing side to really like make a push. I just started learning about that and just consume everything. So then for about 9 months, I was really focused on those topics. And then I realized that, I was actually talking a lot about copywriting, right? Or I learned the process of copywriting when I was writing newsletters, writing content, giveaways, etc., whatever you want to name it, right? Um, but yeah, and then that basically just kind of landed to where I am now, right? Like about 3 months ago, 4 months ago now, right? I think right back in November of 2024, I made the switch to fully just commit to copywriting in itself, right? More specifically towards direct response and email marketing. Um, just because I just fell in love with the process of just writing, sending emails, and just like the fact that you can just write a couple words, not a couple words, right? But you could write words, put them in a document, put them in an email, put them in a sales letter or an ad, and then just be able to convert and make money from it. It like really fascinated me. Um, but yeah, so now here I am recording this video. Kind of started talking about my journey, and yeah, let's go into more about what you can expect from me moving forward with this channel and everything like that, right? Um, I want to avoid the whole guru aspect, right? I'm not here to preach from some mountaintop of success and saying, do this, do that, right? And if you ever do hear me sounding like that, please call me out. Please be direct. um, the biggest thing for me is just I'm in the trenches. Look, I'm learning, I'm testing everything, I'm figuring it out just like you, and I'm just documenting everything along the way. Um, so a couple things that the whole channel be focused about, or what I plan on talking about, would be copywriting, email marketing, basically that skill that is changing my life right now, and it has done for a lot of other people, but also just learning how we can use that skill to make money for ourselves to reach the goals that we ultimately want to reach, right? Talk more about like the freelancing, business growth, and basically just building from ground zero up to, the goals that we want to get, right? Our first client, the first 2K, the first 3K, the first 5K, right? Just documenting that, talking about that, just from my experiences so far, but then also from other people's experiences that I've networked, and being able to share that information with you guys. And then also, I think one of the biggest things too that I want to talk about is the mindset and productivity aspect behind all this, right? Um, I would say the hardest part, right, isn't the work, but it's mostly our mindset and our approach of taking action, right? I think for a lot of us, myself included, we get in our own way, right? So being able to talk about how we can overcome certain limiting beliefs, certain obstacles that allows us to move forward and eventually reach the goals that we want. So yeah, I'll be usually talking about those topics, and then obviously um, any topics and ideas that come from you guys in the comment section, or just from questions that I get on a maybe weekly basis, daily basis. It really depends, right? And just trying to provide any useful content that will help you guys. Yeah, so the next one is I want to talk a little bit about the biggest lessons I've learned so far. And first one is I think the skill matters more, right? No one really cares about your credentials that I've noticed so far. They care more about the results that you've been able to provide, right? So that's been a big learning curve and a big, I would say, obstacle to overcome. Another one is just how copywriting is just an underrated superpower, right? You can write persuasively, you can basically sell anything, right? And then also realizing this, your first client is closer than you think. Most people get stuck at this part because they just don't take action, or they don't know where to look. So don't worry, I do plan on creating videos about these topics right now and dive a little bit deeper about it to explain it further. But yeah, so then what's next, right? Here's the plan. I want to share everything with you guys, how I'm getting clients, how I write emails, how I write my copy, what converts, what isn't converting, the mistakes that I'm making, and the systems that I'm using that I would say actually work for me, right? And hopefully they work for you as well, right? And then at the end of the day, I want to hear from you. What are your biggest challenges right now? Is it getting clients, writing copy, staying consistent, et cetera, right? So just make sure, drop a comment below, and I'll reply to it, but also it'll give me some creative ideas where but just create videos about it and just kind of talk about maybe my perspective on it, my struggles with it, and just kind of giving those tips, maybe tricks of how I can help you out, basically, right? But yeah, so if you're interested in copywriting, freelancing, you know, hope you like this video, right? Subscribe, and yeah, let's stay in the loop, and then I'll see you in the next one. So take care.